Hi guys, welcome back. It's Angelica, and about a week ago I posted a video of me reacting to Shine On You Crazy Diamond by Pink Floyd. And this performance was from the Pulse concert DVD that they did in 1994. Ever since I saw that video, I have been thinking about that song, listening to that song, and I instantly knew upon watching that video that I would have to come back and talk about this song again because it was just that good to me. So, what I decided to do is to break this into two parts. So, today is going to be part one, and part two will come later. But what we're going to do is in part one today, we're going to focus on the music and the performance itself. And then part two is going to focus more on the context of the song, what was going on in the band at the time, the story behind the song, the story of Syd Barrett, and also focusing more on the lyrics as well. I thought that it was too much to do all in one, but I wanted to talk about both elements of this song because I think it's all so important to arriving at the masterpiece that that performance is. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first section I want to talk about is really the first entire section that I believe totally sets up the song. It really creates the soundscape in which the rest of the song occurs. And I think the way that they set this up is just so brilliant. There is so much space and anticipation that is created in this first section. And the first musical sound that we hear is this G minor chord that's being played on one of the keyboards in this kind of organ sound. And I think it's really, really interesting that that chord is held for the entirety of the first almost 2.5 minutes. It's not until 2:22 that we have any change in the chord that's being held in the back. Now they're holding this, and Rick Wright is starting a keyboard melody with this beautiful French horn sound. But in the back, we have that chord the entire time. There is no chord progression, there is nothing. And I think that is very effective in creating this anticipation and this space that you know this is going to take its time. And there's this mystery about it and sadness, but it's warm too. So I just think that this is brilliant. And I want to play the moment where that changes. So first, I'm going to play just so that you can hear it. This is the G minor chord that they hold in the beginning. In this moment where we finally get our first chord movement, I think it's interesting. He kind of emphasizes it with the guitar, and I don't know if that's signaling to the band like, hey, this is the moment we're going to change chords, or if it's just kind of him into it and just kind of feeling it. But I think that this moment is really cool. There we go. We changed from G minor to D minor. So really, really cool. Love how they have created this wonderful soundscape that is going to carry us through the rest of the song. I have to talk about this next moment in the song, and that is the 4-note motif that David plays on the guitar here. It's so recognizable, it's so unique, and it is truly woven throughout this entire song and in the DNA of this song. It's so important to the sound here. And it has such a mysterious and interesting quality to it. I'm going to play it for you. That is just such a beautiful sound. It has such a mysterious quality about it. Like I said, to me, it's introspective. And it also has this kind of unfinished feel to it as well. It's so beautiful, and I love it so much. Okay, so my next favorite moment in this song is where the drums and the bass come in, and that is around minute 4. And this is when the song really starts building. And there was one thing in particular here that I really thought was really cool. And so this is the moment where, like I said, the drums and the bass come in, but I'm going to take you a couple seconds before that exact moment that they come in, because I love watching David here. He is playing that riff, that motif, and he knows that this rhythm section is coming, and he starts like bouncing to the rhythm, and I think it's so awesome to watch him do that and get into that feel before they come in, and they're just so in sync. I mean, what he's doing here is exactly what Nick Mason comes in with the drums and does. So let's check it out. We're going to move on to where the lyrics come in the song. And I want to talk about how David is singing and accompanying himself in a call and response style here. I pointed this out in the video where I reacted to this for the first time, but I just want to talk about it again because what he's doing here is so beautiful. Now, I'm just going to talk about the first little phrase that he does, but he continues on with this call and response with himself, which I think is amazing. But I want you to listen to this first little response that he gives himself on the guitar. I think it's so beautiful. Remember when you were young? I love that so much. I love the choice that he made there to go to that F sharp at the end. It gives it this kind of sour note feel. Da 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 da. And it has like a nice feeling in the beginning. Da 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 da. It gives it this like sour note, something gone awry feeling. And I think it just perfectly matches the meaning of this song about Syd Barrett's mental health struggles. The line is, remember when we were young, or remember when you were young. Sorry. And then he responds on the guitar. Da, 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 da. It gives this impression of like young, great things happening, excitement. Da, 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 da. And then duh, where you get that impression of something gone awry, which is exactly what he's trying to communicate, because he's talking about, remember this time when you were young and everything was okay, and then it's not now. And I think that note choice of how he blends that into this kind of uncomfortable sound was just such a brilliant choice. I love it. Okay, so this was the moment that I was most excited to share with you guys, because once I noticed this, I could not stop listening to this part and humming this part and trying to figure it out on the piano. I am obsessed with this little melody that he does here. So I didn't notice what he was doing on the guitar here at first, because this happens during a part where he is singing and the lyrics are really beautiful, and that took my attention at first. But I want you to try to listen to the guitar behind him. Now, this is a moment where he is accompanying himself. Now, it's not a call and response thing like he was doing earlier, where he sings and then responds with the guitar. This is like at the same time, pretty much. So I want you to try to listen to what he's playing here. You were caught in the crossfire of childhood and battle, blown on the steel breeze. So I don't know if you can hear what he's doing there, but so he's singing, and then with the guitar, he's playing do 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 do. I think that is so pleasantly wonderful and really grounds the more uncertain melody that he's singing in just such a beautiful way. I'm just obsessed with this. Well, you want your welcome with random precision, roll on the steel breeze. Okay, so the next thing I'm obsessed with is how Nick Mason, the drummer, changes the fill that he does each time that we lead into this Shine On You Crazy Diamond chorus part. I'm going to show you what I mean. So he actually plays this 6 different times, and each time he changes it. And I noticed that, and I thought that it was really subtly adding so much to the feel of the song, how it breathes. It's very human and not a recording, clearly. And just little things like this, I feel like really add to the beauty of this. So here's the first one. You shone like the sun. So there he has a lot of space in it. It's not very intense. And then we go on to the second time he does it. So there he's adding more intensity. We've got this one. Love that one. We have this one. More space again. And then we've got 2 more. We've got this one. 1, 2, 3. And then we've got the last one, which I think has the most intensity to it, which obviously a great choice. Love that. So obsessed with that. He is such a good drummer. I love the way he's drumming in this song, and the pulse that he's keeping. It's so floaty. This next moment is a short little moment that I'm obsessed with. I'm going to play it for you first. I love how David is kind of just shouting this lyric off here in this kind of syncopated way. I feel like it adds so much to the humanness of the song, and then also just kind of the desperation of the song, of like really wanting this person to triumph over their struggles. And you can hear the emotion in the way that he's kind of shouting this off here. It's just a little detail that I think is so effective. This is another short little moment that I noticed and just love to watch over and over again. It is Guy Pratt on the bass, and I love the energy that he brings to the performance here. He's clearly really into the music and present. And this is just such a cute little moment that I noticed that I'd love to point out. Roll on the steel breeze. Check out how he points that bass right on the end of that beat. I just think that is so cute that he did that. Roll on the steel breeze. This is another one of my favorite moments in the song. I think this is just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful melody. And it's such an unexpected melody, too. Yeah, that note that he hits in the middle there. That is so pretty. And I've recently been watching my reaction videos when I edit them to make sure that I'm not missing any huge mistakes and things like that. I was avoiding doing it because I don't like watching myself. But this is one of my favorite moments that I captured of me hearing that for the first time and getting to see what my face looked like when I experienced that for the first time. Because that, to me, this is where, for me, this is where the song goes from 10 out of 10 to a 12 out of 10, because you can see it in my face when I'm listening to this, that I did not think that it could get any more beautiful. I was so in it. I was so appreciating all of what was going on. And then they hit me with this little melody here. And I can't believe that he put this in here. It's just such a unique, beautiful melody. And to me, this is such a peak of the song, of the complicated beauty of this story. I hear that in this little melody, that there's something very wistful about it and incomplete. And I love that so much. I want to play it one more time. Of course, I have to talk about Dick Perry and his wonderful, wonderful sax solos that he does towards the end of the song here. I am just obsessed with what he does here. This entire piece of music is just absolutely gorgeous, but I have to be honest, a lot of what was playing in my head over and over again was this sax solo. Everything he does here is just so melodic, so brilliant. The phrasing is fantastic and totally fits in with David's style of phrasing and even Rick Wright's style of phrasing on the keyboards. It is just, man, I love watching this. So there's two little things that I'm obsessed with there. I'm obsessed with this little stomp that he does before he gets into this kind of opening verse of this solo. He does this little stomp with the rhythm and the drums that I think is so wonderful and cute. And I love, after he does that stomp, he does this like growl slide into the first note of this phrase, and I just love it so much. Let's listen to it again. And the other moment I want to talk about is towards the end of this first solo. and then into the switch of him going to the tenor sax. So this ending little phrase that he has is so good. I love that he's playing with the dynamics here. He's playing it a lot more softly towards the end. And then we have this really cool run that he ends it with. And then we have the switch. So I just think that it is so wonderful how he plays that so softly there in right before that end run. He's playing it softer. Listen. I don't know that much about saxophones or baritone saxophones, but I do understand that that is a very big instrument, and it takes an enormous amount of air to get the sound right on that thing. So he's having to blow really hard. And as a piano player, I understand how difficult dynamics can be. That's kind of the phase of learning piano that I'm in right now, is learning how to do that. And it is very hard to play with contrasting dynamics. So he's having to blow really, really hard to get the sound on this saxophone. But he's also playing with the dynamics where he's playing louder at times and then softer at times. So to be able to do that with such a small window of what would create the acceptable sound, I think is masterful. The fact that he can blow hard like that, but also play it softly, really seems like that would be very hard to me. Not to mention the fact that this is a baritone sax. And in this next moment here, I just think it's epic the way he just slings it to the side and starts on the tenor. That is now a very different instrument. It's much smaller, and I would assume that it requires a lot less air to produce this desired sound. So he's having to switch between having to have a certain air output to a very different air output, all within a couple counts. And he does it without missing a beat. It sounds beautiful. It sounds perfect. You wouldn't even think that it was anything for him. You know, no difficulty doing that. The last thing I want to talk about really quickly before we end the video is just how great David's voice is. I think he has such a beautiful voice. It's so unique. It's so similar to his guitar sound, in my opinion, which I think is fascinating. His voice has there's so much there to unpack, but it's like, it's got this straight tone to it. You know, there's really not much vibrato at all in his voice. So we've got this very like straight, clear tone, clear like the guitar sound that he creates. He bends his voice everywhere and slides around all the time, just like he does on the guitar. And it's just such a powerful voice. It's interesting to me that it has a very breathy quality, but it's so powerful and punchy at the same time too. So I just wanted to take a minute to shout out David Gilmour's voice, because I do think it is a beautiful instrument and he plays it so well. Okay guys, that's it for my video today. This was me going through my top 10 moments of this performance. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, part 2 will be coming very soon, where we talk about the history of the song and the context in which it was created, the story of Syd Barrett, and then get into the lyrics a little bit more too. So I can't wait to get to that one, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you so much.